Hello everyone. I've got here my Luddite, one of the few boards that I use very regularly. So I'm going to go through just a few notes on how to actually make this a Bluetooth board. So let me just kind of leave it open it here, and as you can actually see, the Luddite PCB wasn't even screwed in, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Mostly the battery here. So the Luddite is it's a very simple, standard 60% board that uses a BlueMicro right here. And then, so it's just a regular mini USB, and then it's got that little chip is a ESD protection, like electrostatic discharge protection. And then it's got the ability for a I guess RGB, like underglow RGB, installing a strip. It's got a VCC data and ground. I didn't install it, but I did install it. If I just kind of you can see it brightens up the white LED throughout. And for that, it's essentially this little MOSFET that allows for that. So the build is actually very simple. It's you essentially install all the diodes. I've installed them on the other side, but they could be installed on this side, doesn't really matter. And then, well, actually, because of the PCB, I'm not too sure if it does matter or not. Good question. But I've got it on the inside. You can actually see, like, for example, right here, a couple of diodes and resistors. Install all the diodes, install the resistors if you want LEDs, and then on this side there's the MOSFET. And then from there, I've installed a socket for the BlueMicro, or in my case here, the BlueMicro. And then this is actually probably the largest configuration of a keyboard that a BlueMicro or a ProMicro would use. The simple reason is a ProMicro has 18 GPIOs. Now, if you take 18 minus 1 for the LEDs, minus 1 for the RGB, so that gives you 16. And if you think 16, the maximum you could get for a matrix is like 8 rows and 8 columns. To say essentially have 64 keys. But wait a minute, we've got like 5 rows here. Well, what actually we have to do in firmware is essentially move keys around such that we do end up with essentially an 8 by 8 matrix to get that full keyboard. Now, how to make it Bluetooth is actually very, very simple. So we need two things. Essentially a chip that is a Bluetooth chip. So this is a nRF52 module that's on the BlueMicro 2.01 here in this case. It does have a serial chip on board, a lithium battery charger on board. And then because this needs to be connected to this port here, I've got this little cable that I've just mangled up to get my VCC data connections and ground to here. Now once that's connected, all I need is connect a regular mini USB and it all works fine. Other piece that we need for wireless is obviously a battery and a way to turn it off. So that's why I've got it's a really, really fat battery, and it really protrudes a little bit too high. So that's why I can't screw down my my keyboard here, but I just use these standard little RC connectors. I don't know how they are called, but with this RC connector I can easily plug them in or disconnect them and replace the battery. But you can see it's right solder right on here on the BlueMicro. Other piece to note is I've got an actual power switch that I literally glued in a little PCB that just fits right on the edge. If you don't really see it right here, but when I kind of look at it this way, you see this little slide switch that connects or disconnects the battery to my BlueMicro. So that means if I want to transport this, all I need is a little like tweezer or something to be able, or a pin to be able to just slide my switch over, and then it's going to be completely disconnected. So if I just type on here, it's not doing anything. But if I turn it on, I see that like now the backlight of the keys lights are lit up. So to make the Luddite a USB keyboard was probably the simplest thing to do. Just replace the BlueMicro and add a battery and a switch. That was it. These are essentially my notes to build a Bluetooth Luddite or a Bluetooth 60% based on a board that uses a BlueMicro. So, and I'll just kind of like put that back in here and then just push it down, and that's it. Well, there you go. Hope that helps give you a few ideas on how to build a Bluetooth keyboard. Okay, thanks. Bye.